Let me share my presentation. Okay. Thank you for the invitation. Good morning from Argentine. Thank you very much for the invitation. I I want to talk about cyber crimes and trafficking in person, how the technology link with the with that kind of item in transnational organized crime. First of all, it's not my first language, so be kind with me because my English is not very good. So, um, uh, I am the focal point of UN, and I am the focal point in Argentine from the Net4U Americas. The Net4U is the America Civil Society regional network for UNTOC implementation. Has no Net4U Americas. That was formed after an extensive training program called it C4U. We work and we try to implementation public and private alliance to prevent, mitigate, and combat crimes that threaten to the social and economic progress of nations and public and private organizations. The network Net4U Americas has the support of UNODC, the UNODC Civil Society, and of course, the Watson platforms, that it is on a platform in, uh, in which all people can find a lot of organization has worked in in this kind of items. We are not alone because the Net4U Americas was the first, but the second Net4U is in Africa. In the last year, it was created in Asia, the Net4U Asia, and maybe in a couple of years in Europe. In Net4U Americas, there is a lot of organization like ONG, like university, or like private company, like us, A.D.C. And this is an example of that kind of organization, like University for Peace, like Rafa International, like University Federal Fluminense in Brazil, and more. So start with the talk about cybercrime. Uh, of course, all the people has no different items, different tips, different titles about cybercrime, like virus, Trojan, spam, phishing, DDoS, brute force, and much more. There is a lot of items in cybercrimes, but in our structure of thinking, uh, we must to talk about seven spheres of cybercrimes, like fraud and forgery via computer means, computer crimes related to identity, sending and controlling emails, computer crimes of copyright and trademarks, computer-related acts causing personal harms, instigation or recruitment of children for sexual purpose by computer means, and the last, and maybe the most important, the modification of thoughts and attitudes. So this is our structure of thinking about the seven sphere of cybercrimes. I have a very good friends that say data is everywhere. So I think that in our area, um, it is true. Data is everywhere in every country and in all the world. First of all, we need to understand the context about the transnational organized crime. The transnational organized crime have a lot of items that are linked between like integrity, like corruption, like transnational organized crime, like trafficking in person, smuggling of migrants, firearms, trafficking, terrorism, and of course the cyber crimes. It is important because there is a lot of people that try to work or to understand in one item, in two items, but the context is more complex it that we thought. So, to understand the context, maybe the best way is to think the transnational organized crime has an ecosystem that have some topics, some titles, but uh, we need to understand that transnational organized crime like an ecosystem. The and which what is this ecosystem? The organized crime occurs not only in the underworld of the shadow; it is embedded in the ecosystem all around us. It is often hard to identify because it operates discreetly, lurking in same institution, business, and practice as licit actor. So um, there is illicit market. There is maybe one of the most important. No, not it is not alone, but it is one of the most important, like governance, corruptions, because the corruptions prevent law enforcement, government, and business from taking action against organized crime. The criminal groups use corruption to infiltrate political institutions and to corrupt enables. Of course, the geopolitics are uh, are now maybe one of the most important. Of course, the environmental, of course, the infrastructure, of course, the financial crimes, but we need to see three of them. The violence and instability is one of the important. The vulnerable communities is another, and of course the technology. Okay. Um, I need to move this. Wait a minute, please, because I need to move this. Digital technology enables criminals to communicate, move money, and prey on vulnerable people. The development of digital infrastructure is opening up new possibilities, both for criminal and law enforcement, of course. In this ecosystem, uh, we work in 15 items, like, of course, human trafficking, of course, human smuggling, arms trafficking, flora crimes, fauna crimes, of course, heroin, cocaine, cannabis, synthetic drugs. But the financial crimes and the cyber crimes, like you see in the map, is maybe the most important topic. So, which is the challenge? And I want to talk about the human exploitation and cyber scam because has a growing global crisis. Uh, mm, not because not for me, uh, but yes for the official information like Interpol and more. But this kind of criminals is in the first of the seven sphere of cyber crimes. The first was called fraud and forgery via computer means. There is a social market foundation. It is a British public policy think tank based in London who did an investigation about which countries are affected by this type of crimes. And in South America, and Argentina, and Brazil. In North America, of course, all North America, and much more. But uh, in summary, across the sample countries, one of five of the aggregate adult population has been victim of fraud between 2021 and 2023. Um, there were more than 200 million fraud victims in 21, 22, and 23. So it is a very big problem. And the problem affecting all age group. Like you see, maybe between 35 and 44 is much more. So, but about the cyber scam, what are behind? The cyber slavery definition, maybe one of them is cyber slavery is a human trafficking for forced criminality or exploitation in scamming activity run on the web. Okay, individual with computer skill and disabled into working in online scam, suffering long hours and brutal punishment. Interpol um, has a publication about online scam and human trafficking, and this is the map uh, from where is the most important area point in the world. Because it's began regional, but maybe in a couple of years it's will be global. UNODC prepare an important public information about the scam industry in one country in the Mekong region that and in it the publication say that between 7 to 12 billions of dollars are generated by this kind of criminal issues. Okay, uh, I think that maybe there is a lot of people that know that the cyber slavery in the scamming camps, there is a lot of in the Southeast Asia. And I want to talk very focal talk about that. Um, sorry. Violence, death, on the human trafficking continues. The people working in human condition, the victims suffer forced labor condition, long working hours, confiscation of document, physical punishment, extortion, sexual exploitation, torture, and in extreme cases, even organ harvesting. But where are the camps? Initially concentrated in Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos. These centers are replicating in other regions like West Africa and potentially in Dubai and Georgia. And what about the worker profile? Of course, the COVID pandemic exacerbated the problem, increasing digitalization and leaving many desperate for work, making them more vulnerable to deceptive offers. Of course, corruption and lack of accountability is one of the more important things. Corruption or inaction by officials like police, judge, and politicals in that kind of countries hinders effort to combat these crimes. In some cases, rescued victims face detention in deplorable condition and are even returned to the captors. UN estimates that at least 150 million youth are trapped in fraud factories in Myanmar. Challenging law enforcement, the transnational nature of this crime, lack of the clear jurisdiction, indifference in legal frameworks, hinder the prosecution of perpetrators. Of course, the fake jobs are the most no issues in that kind of crimes because from a simple job to an information technology, from a light work with high salary, sorry, to digital sales and much more. But to understand the this kind of crimes about cyber scam and human trafficking, we need to understand that this is most big problem in which items are local authorities, company owners, money laundering service, company managers. Of course, the corruption is the blood in this kind of structure. This is a small presentation. It is not mine. It is a great work from Mina Chain. I leave the link, the WhatsApp, and more if you want to know more, especially about that kind of crime. Well, where is the center? Where is the area? Where is the maybe the countries in which these kind of crimes are most development? So Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, and much more. But uh, which is the countries which is the origins of victims. The second map is about that. Uh, so Brazil, South Africa, the rest of Asia, and there is a lot of many countries that is the origin of the victims. And the online scam and human trafficking is the problem that have a double edge because we have two parts: the online scam victims and the human trafficking victims. So it is very difficult to work. And to finish, uh, we what or which is the toolkit in what we work, and of course the UN Cyber Convention is the most important toolkit. Remember that the UN Cybercrime Convention uh, was working for 2 years in an ad hoc committee, call it, sorry, because it's a long name, they elaborate a comprehensive international convention on countering to use of information and communication technologies for criminal purpose. Uh, in short, is the UN Cybercrime Convention. There is another toolkit, the Global Program on Cybercrime from UNODC. It is a program that brings capacity building and mentoring on cybercrime operation, digital forensic laboratories. The components of the cybercrime program is capacity building and mentoring, legal and policy frameworks, storing reports, of course, cooperation, and the most important, the prevention. The areas of work is cyber investigation, digital forensic, digital evidence, cryptocurrency, online child sexual abuse and exploitation, and of course, again, the prevention. Where is the point in the cybercrime work? Well, there is a lot of point in the work. And which is the partner of this kind of program? Well, the best of the world, like Interpol, like Meta, like Google, like of course UN Women, Missile Children, UNICEF, and much more. The other toolkit is the Watson platform. The Watson platform is a multi-stakeholder database. In that database, there is a lot of organization like ONG, university, and private sector that work in transnational organized crime. Maybe some companies work only in trafficking in person, another only in trafficking of smuggling of migrant, sorry, uh, or in cybercrime or in terrorism. But the most important is that this database has a lot of company who was supported by the UN or by the all the program of the UN. Another is the Sherlock. Sherlock is another database uh, about organized crime, about all types of crime, the 15 crimes is the types. It's a public database with national legislation, with case law, with national and regional strategy, with international instruments, and much more. In conclusion, we exposed documents reveal a growing global crisis of human trafficking and cyber scam, requiring, a coordinated and urgent response. It is essential to address underlying vulnerability causes, strengthen international cooperation, and protect victims from exploitation and abuse. Public awarenesses and education about the risks of this scam are crucial to prevent more individuals from falling into this criminal network as in salvage scammer and hence scam victims. So sorry for my bad English. That's all for me. If you have a question, I'm yours.